You don't have to worry about how much code you actually put into an if statement. You can put as much code as you require. So for example, I could just copy this print command and then just paste it over and over. And it's going to work. I start the program. Of course, I have to change ismail to true first, so it's actually going to print out this text. I set ismail to true, I start, and it's printing out URMail multiple times because we have multiple lines of code. So now let's make our if statement actually a bit more complicated. So to do that, I'm going to create a second boolean, and I'm going to call it isSane, because why not? I'm going to set isSane to true. And now using those two statements, we can actually make a lot more conditions because we can mix them together. We can check if both statements are true. We can check if both are false. We can check if one of them is false. We can check if the other is false. There's a bunch of stuff we can do. So to start off, I'm going to ask if ismail and isSane. And now if that condition is met, it's going to print out you are a sane male. However, now we have a lot more options, and just a simple else is not going to work. So the second command you will need for this is elif. So it's elif, just like that. And then you put your condition after that. So if ismail and not isSane, because now we are negating this isSane, so it's checking if it's false, it's going to print out you're an insane male. Now another condition, elif not ismail and isSane, we're going to print out you are a sane female. And now there's a last option which we're left with, and that is when both the statements are false. So we're going to use else, colon, and then print out you're an insane female. And now we can actually access all of those messages simply changing those two statements. So let's try the program now. It says you're a sane male because both the conditions are true. Now let's set sane to false. Run the program. It says you are an insane male. And you can check for yourself, it's going to work for all the 4 conditions. And just to rehearse it one more time, the if statement is asking a condition ismail over here. If that's true, then it's going to the end word and it's asking a second condition isSane. If both of those conditions are met, it's printing out all of the code in our if statement. Else if, using the elif command, it's ismail and not isSane. We print out the second command, and so on and so on. And at the end of each if condition, you're going to use the else and a colon. Be sure to not finish with an elif because your Python can get some problems with that. So make sure if you only have one condition left at the end, use else and then colon instead of elif. There is actually another keyword apart from and not. I just shown you the word and, which adds another condition to the if statement, and I shown you not. So now time for the third statement, which is actually or. So we're going to type out if ismail or isSane. Remember to put a colon and then start in an indentation on the next line. And now we're going to print out a message. Our condition is if ismail or isSane. So we're going to print out a message. You are a male or sane or both. And that is because this command is checking if either one of these is true. And if none of them are true, then it's not going to print out the message. However, if one of them is true or both of them are true, it's going to print out the message. So right now I start the program. It says you are a male or sane or both. If I set this to true, it's still going to print out the message. However, if both of those are false, it's simply going to skip to the next line. So one more thing I wanted to show you is you can actually specify what you want each statement to be checked as. So we're going to do the if statement again, and now we're going to check if isMail is equals to. Remember, if you're checking if something is equal to something, you have to put the equals symbol twice, because a single equals is actually assigning a value and not comparing it. So comparing a value here, if isMail equals true and isSane equals false. Remember to put double equals, of course. Then you put a colon, and our message is going to say, "You're an insane mail." And that is because we are checking if our isMail is true and if our isSane is false. This way you can specify certain things which are other than just true or false, because like I showed you a second ago, instead of checking if isSane equals false, you can simply do and not isSane. However, it's up to your preference, really. You can do either one of those options. Both are going to work. Just try not to do this, because there is no need for that. You can simply put if isMail, and it's basically the same as checking if it's true, because it's automatically going to check if it's actually true.